Hi, this is Mandy with Scott Leroy Marketing. Today, I'd like to show you how you can reformat a custom spreadsheet in order to import it into Command. A custom spreadsheet just means it's one where you've decided what columns and what information is on your spreadsheet. There is some formatting to make sure that it imports into the fields for Command correctly, and I'm going to show you that briefly. Something to keep in mind, a custom spreadsheet may seem easier up front with the formatting versus the template that Command gives you. However, it is a little labor intensive once you begin importing it, and there is a margin for error as well. So if you have a custom file, I'm going to show you how to format it and use it. However, you may also want to check out our other tip video on how to reformat the Command template, Command import template. That will show you how to use the template provided by Command. A little more labor intensive up front, but there's less margin for error on the back end and it imports really quickly. So you may just want to look at both before you make your decision. But right here for the custom file, you can see we're in Command. You can come over here to the Contacts tab, and the Import button is right here in the top right. This is where you would get the Command template if you want to use it. However, if you have your own custom file, I'm going to show you on your screen here how to actually use a custom file. There we go. And it would look like this. The rows, the first row for your column headers would be here. You want to make sure to put a name on the top of each column to indicate what it is. So make sure that that is labeled well. So your first row should always be your column headers or the names for those columns. And then you can enter your information below that. You can have a column for whatever you would like. You can name it whatever you would like. The only piece of information that's required for a contact is the first name. So just make sure that any piece of information you have in this whole spreadsheet, it just needs to make sure you have a first name as well. So if you don't know someone's first name, you can always put neighbor. So maybe you have a phone number saved in your phone, but you're unsure of the person's first name. Just make sure that you fill that in, okay? Also, the formatting on phone numbers and dates, pretty much any formatting will work. You can use periods, hyphens, parentheses around the area code. For the dates, military dates, forward slashes, hyphens, all of the above will work within the date ranges and also the phone number fields. One other thing, you really should make a column for tags right here. Adding tags onto your contacts is a way for you to label them and organize them in Command. Now, you can add and remove tags once they're imported. However, you do want to make sure that you have a singular common tag that applies to all the contacts on this spreadsheet so that if, God forbid, something goes wrong during the import, you will be able to easily find all the contacts that were imported on this file and get them corrected. So we at SLM always recommend using import and the day's date. And then that way we know that every single um, contact in this file will have that particular tag and they'll be easy to find. We also encourage you to go ahead and add any tags you want. Maybe you want to go ahead and label some of these and add those tags. You can do so. Just make sure that you're separating these tags with a comma and a space. That indicates to Command to make them separate tags instead of all one big run-on sentence. Okay. And so once you have entered all of your data on this custom spreadsheet, you can pull it over to the side here as I'm going to do. I'm going to save it so that we can get it imported into Command. Just 1 second here. All right. And you can drag and drop it over to your Command here if you'd like. We're just going to drag and drop. And again, this is a custom import file. So that was relatively easy, right? Not a lot of formatting to do. However, now that I've dropped it into Command, I need to click Continue. And this is where the elbow grease comes in. You will need to match the columns that were on your spreadsheet that you labeled to the fields in command. So for first name, you'll need to come over here and type first name and select it. Last name, phone number, and make sure that you choose primary if it is the primary phone number. This means that it's the phone number that will be used for marketing and command. Same with the email. If you have an email address or multiple, you'll want to make sure that you choose one to be the primary email. So it is the one that is getting marketing through command. And then we'll choose our tags right here. Now, if you had a lot of other headers, you can tell this may have taken you a little bit longer, as well as this is where the margin for error comes in if you map these incorrectly to the wrong field. Now that we've done this, we'll click continue. It will ask you to confirm, so you can kind of scroll through your contacts just to see if the information is right and click finalize import. It will give you a pop-up letting you know that it is working on it. That blue banner also lets you know, and you can click refresh on that at any point just to see. It should be relatively instantaneous as well. So you can see it's already gone. So our import is done. You can come to your notifications here in the top right and see if it was successful or if it failed. Now, mine failed on purpose because I wanted to show you this, but you can click the download log right here and it will actually show you the specific reason why those contacts failed to import. So this is what a failed import log looks like. It will show you the spreadsheet. It looks different now because it's plugged it into a type of template, but over here to the far right, it will give you a reason for each contact as to why they failed so that you can make changes and re-import if you need to. That is it for how to reformat a custom file into command and import into command. However, if you have any questions at all, run into any snags, or if we work with your market center here at SLM, we can actually help import these for you. So you can definitely reach out to us via email, and our email address is support@scottleroymarketing.com, and we'll be happy to help. Thanks for watching.